evening, and thank you all to the Oconee County Republican Party, our county executive session tonight.
Hey, listen up.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Welcome everyone here. Thank you all. And tonight we're going to start with a blessing. So, Brother Black, will you lead us in the invocation tonight?
Lord, thank you this day. Thank you for this gathering of like-minded preaching of the county. Lord, bless anybody who has to speak tonight and help them with the message. Pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Black. Mr. Perry Jackson, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brother Perry. David Bond, will you please lead us in the South Carolina Republican Creed, please?
I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon. If I can seek opportunity, not security, I want to take a calculated risk to dream and build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentives for gold. I prefer the challenges of life to guarantee security, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master, saying, my God. It is my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself, enjoy the benefit of my creations, to face the whole world boldly and say, I am free in America.
Thank you, Brother Bond. Parliamentarian Mickey Haney, can we get a confirmation of attendance by precinct so we conduct official business this evening, sir?
Yes, we have 17 ECs and 2 presidents filling in. Let's do a roll call.
Please.
Bountyland,
Here.
Earls Grove,
Here.
Fairplay. Here. Friendship.
Here.
Kiwi.
Here.
Madison.
Here.
Long Creek. Mountain Rest.
Here.
New Hope.
Here.
Neary. Corinth. Oakway.
Here.
Ravenel.
Here.
Return.
Here.
Richland. Salem. Here. Seneca 1.
Here.
Seneca 2.
Here.
Seneca 3.
Here.
Seneca 4.
Here.
Shiloh. South Union.
Here.
Stamp Creek.
Here.
Tomasi. Takina. Utica. Walhalla 1.
Here.
Walhalla 2.
Here.
West Union.
Here.
Westminster.
Here.
Westminster 1, I'm sorry. Yes. Westminster 2.
Here.
And the state EC.
Here.
So that gives us 19 total voters.
Mr. Parliamentarian, do we have a quorum so we can conduct official business tonight?
We do have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian. Madam Secretary, you have sent out the minutes from the last meeting in accordance with the rules. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brother Sanders. All in favor? Aye. Tonight, we're going to start the presentation with a very special presentation. In the back, we have 2 special guests. We all know Senator Alexander, the Senator, President Pro Tem of the South Carolina State Senate. Is that correct, sir? That's a mouthful, Senator. And of course, our good friend, Sheriff Mike Crenshaw. So, gentlemen, would you approach the podium? And I would like to introduce the chairman of the district directors, Bob. Oh, thank you, Bob. So I'm going to turn it over to the district chairman directors to talk about the fundraiser we just had.
So we just concluded a first barbecue for the OCRP a couple of weeks back, and it was a big success. We sold out completely, everything that we had. I want to thank everybody who participated. Especially want to thank Mr. Perry Smith, our pit master, who stayed up all night cooking the barbecue. That everybody was wanting so badly that we sold 219 plates. Correct? Perry was mostly awake afterwards. And also want to recognize Craig Spearman. He was the team leader for the barbecue, and he did a fantastic job. Craig, stand up. Definitely want to thank the donors, the volunteer workers. There were quite a few, some benefactors, and especially the ticket buyers who bought all the meals. And of note, during the barbecue, there were several different donors who purchased, I believe the number was 72 plates that were delivered to all the first responders that were on duty in Oconee County that day. So thank you to everybody who sponsored those plates and made those deliveries. I think that was a great. And as a result of that, I also have the great honor of presenting a check to Sheriff Crenshaw for the Sheriff's Foundation of $750. Wow.
We certainly do appreciate this. This is going to go towards something that we started after Lucas Watts got shot. It's kind of a benevolence fund. So, right after Lucas got shot, obviously families needing some funding to help them initially. Since that time, we had another officer, Jesus de Luna Soto, was going home from work after school one day. School resource officer, sharp pain in his back, had to go into immediate surgery, have back surgery. So, and after that, his youngest child, had a seizure. So some medical issues there. So, start this fund to help them initially, whether it's just a few $100s, to get groceries, to get gas, whatever be the case. An officer loses their home to a fire or something tragic, just to help our folks in their time of need. So we certainly appreciate this. This is what this fund will go towards. So thank you all that bought barbecue plates. That jacket that's on the back of that chair right there, I brought it with me tonight. If you all know of any child, that's probably the largest jacket we've got. Child's 18, 20. And then they go down from there. But the Knights of Columbus gave us several cases of coats, brand new coats. So if you know of a child that's needing a coat, don't need one tonight, obviously, but it's going to get cold. Winter's coming, right? Let me know. Get in touch with me. Or you can call my office at 638-4117. Just give us the address, or if you don't know a name or whatever, and we'll try to make sure we get these coats out. We haven't really started advertising to the public yet. Our school resource officers are trying to identify kids in our schools that need coats and giving them out there. But if you do know of someone, we do have some extra. Last thing, and the Senator and I will let y'all get to business. If you know of some family that needs a Thanksgiving meal, I've had a donor that's donated to us, and Monday morning we're going to be picking up about 120 Thanksgiving meals. Hams, cans of green beans, corn, stuffing, pumpkin pie. Gosh, I can't remember what all was in the pack. But it should feed a family of 4 to 6. So if you know of a family that could use a little help here at Thanksgiving, again, let me know about that. And we will be glad to take them a Thanksgiving meal next Monday morning. The ham's pre-cooked. We started this a couple of years ago, and we started with frozen turkeys. Went into some of these homes, and there was not even a stove to cook the turkey. So we've moved to change that and got the pre-cooked hams now. So we're here to we want to help our citizens that are in need, our kids that are in need, and our officers that are in need. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
So you go right ahead.
I'm just appreciate the invitation to be here with you, Mr. Chairman, and certainly I just want to express my appreciation to the party for having the barbecue and supporting the law enforcement and supporting the foundation. I was proud to be one of the sponsors of the barbecue. I think it's Oconee at its best. The generosity of our citizens. They're always there to take care of the way it ought to be, neighbor helping neighbor. And there's no greater way for us to help than support our law enforcement that are on the front line day in and day out across our communities. It is critical that we continue to show our support as a community for the great work that our sheriff and his department leadership starts at the top. And we appreciate the leadership of the sheriff and all of those that are part of the sheriff's department and other law enforcement and our other first responders, but especially the work that's being done there. So my personal appreciation to each and every one of you and to the party stepping up and doing that, and then seeing the great response from the people. Thank you again for your service and what you do for our party here in Oconee County. And wishing each and every one of you a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving and a very Merry Christmas as well. Thank you. God bless you. Yes, sir.
Like the good senator said, leadership starts at the top, and we couldn't have a better leader than Senator Alexander. Thank you, Al. All right, we're gonna continue on with the good part of this presentation, and we're gonna ask Miss Abby Crook to approach the podium, and Brother Jackson, will you please come back as well? And Sheriff, December 6th, noon. Okay, not the 12th, noon. December 6th.
Well, in case anybody doesn't know, we are planning another fundraiser for December 6th, which is a Saturday coming up here real shortly. And a portion of that fundraiser is going to go to Fostering Faith, who Abby's here to speak on their behalf in a couple seconds. So the gist of it is right now, this has been redone a couple times, and it is now on the website, on Facebook, on the Oconee County Republican page. And I'm not sure, did you guys put it in place? Yeah, so we're going to have a bunch of these printed real nicely shortly too to pass out if anybody wants to put them up there. But it's going to be either a motorcycle or a Jeep. If you have either one of those, you can participate. It's going to be $20 a vehicle, whatever that vehicle might be. We're going to start registration will start at 11 o'clock. In Seneca, at Norton Thompson Park, downtown Seneca. And we plan to be finished with all that and kickstands up at noon. And we're going to have the Seneca police help us with shutting some roads off and escorting us. We're going to do a short ride to downtown Walhalla. We're going to end at Bantam Chef in the parking lot right next to that, if everybody knows where that is. So it'll probably take about 30 minutes, $20 a person. You'll see a scan for advanced registration right there. I checked it out. It works great. So you can scan that with your phone if you want to pre-register, or you can also just register the day of at the event itself. So hopefully we'll have good weather. After the ride's over, we may follow on, or anybody that wants to, we may go down the road to...
There will be definitely an after ride.
Out of the last chance, so anybody that's interested in that too. But we'll have the ceremonies and the closing down at the Bantam Chef parking lot stuff. So the Fostering Faith is who we'd like to support for this, and it's a wonderful ministry and a wonderful. Speaking of children in need, they have a great ministry for that. So Abby's here to speak to us about that.
tell you guys all about it. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your time with me tonight and for all you're doing in the community. This has already been amazing, and just so you guys know, Mr. Alexander has just been an amazing advocate for us. I've cried on his shoulder and been very angry a number of times, and he always comes to our rescue for kids in care. So thank you. I know that it's easy to forget about foster children when they're not in your home, or you're not a police officer taking them into care, or you're not a teacher or caseworker. So I just thank you for remembering them and valuing them and using your time and resources for them. Life is a long ride, and you guys are going to take a ride that day for them. And these kids are on a ride they don't get to choose. And it takes a lot of twists and turns and bumps in the road that are completely out of their control. And these kids have been told, because of abuse and neglect, that they don't matter, that they're not valuable, that nobody cares about them. That's what abuse and neglect tells a child. So you guys get to be part of telling a child, like we do each day, you are loved, like people care about you, and you're valuable and precious to us. So thank you so much. Your generosity, your time, it fuels a lot more than just Christmas gifts. Throughout the year, we tell foster children they're valuable. And these are some of the ways we do provide that. When they come into care, each child gets a bag with his or her name embroidered on it. Many of them have never seen their name on a bag or a birthday cake. So we provide birthday scholarships to make sure that birthdays in foster care can be emotional, as can Christmas time, when you're away from your family and in your family's traditions. And so we make sure every child in foster care gets to make an amazing birthday memory. Next, we have 3 fully stocked resource centers for kids in care, thanks to drugs and a lot of times just not being planning coming into care. Kids come into care with nothing. And so they can come to our centers and pack everything they want, and they walk around and go, I can't believe all this is free, and they're already getting the feeling we want to show them that they are loved and valuable, and they have a whole community of people prepared for what they're going through. And so they get shoes, they get to pick out new shoes. We had 3 teens in Oconee County come into care recently. We were able to deck them out from head to toe in shoes and clothes, 3 new beds, 3 new mattresses. So we are so thankful we were able to be there for that kinship caregiver. And of course, you guys have seen some of the horrible news stories lately, kids that literally are starving to death in our community. And so our families have been able to take those children and nursing them back to health. We've been able to help until WIC can pick up with some formula and protein drinks and clothes and gas vouchers to get to the hospital, to be with kids in the hospital so they can come into the foster home. So we are basically saying yes to whatever foster families and kids need. We say yes to foster families so they don't quit. We desperately need foster families in our community, especially for children over 6 years old. If you know anybody you could convince to foster, promise them they will never foster alone, because it can be lonely and isolating, but fostering faithfully is going to be there for them. We take meals to foster families. They get a lot of therapies and visits and caseworker visits. So we take meals. We allow foster kids to go on amazing field trips, and we have a support group. Not only do we have events where they get to see their siblings that may be living in other homes, but they get to see other children in foster care and realize they're not alone in their journey. And so we just appreciate your support, and every mile you ride, it's a lot more than any tangible gift. It's going to fuel hope to kids in foster care. So I just really appreciate you guys getting involved with us. Thank you so much.
Abby, stick around for 1 second here. Correct me if I'm wrong, one of our ECs is being evaluated for a foster parent position, is that correct? Or being evaluated?
Oh, no, we're both school district people.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I apologize. But there's 3 people I'd like to acknowledge that are very instrumental in the ride. I think, Terry, you would agree too. Kurt, as the road captain, right? Heidi Sanders, who's done all of the graphics and things for us. Thank you for that, putting on the website. And Roger Norwood for bringing this to us. And when Roger approached me, Heidi and I had done foster kids Christmas for 3 years in a row, and we had, was it over 600 kids that had Christmas because of what we did? So this is a labor of love for all of us. But Abby, thank you for all that you do for us.
And I think it's great how this body has rallied around you, and I look forward to a great event on the 6th. If you do not ride a motorcycle or have a Jeep and would like to sponsor, I think it would be a great benefit, and it would make you feel really good this Christmas season. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Abby. We're gonna keep the positive vibes going, and I just mentioned it, but Ian and Patrick, would you mind coming up to the podium and sharing some really good news?
Hey guys, hope y'all are doing well this evening. So my name is Patrick James. For those of you who don't know me, this is my brother Ian. We both we work within the school district. I'm at West Oak Middle School, and then Ian's at West Oak High School. We're both wrestling coaches. I work with the middle school guys and our JET program, and Ian works with the high school guys. So, but we had some exciting news. We all know back a few months ago, tragedy rocked our country when Charlie Kirk passed away from the unspeakable evil that happened to him. And one of the things that we all know is that light always overcomes darkness. And one of the ways that we've been able to see that within our school district is, people, Charlie Kirk was very influential in the lives of young people through his social media influence and his organization Turning Point USA. And we have had students coming up to us in classes, very interested in starting a Turning Point USA chapter at West Oak High School. And so we're really excited to be able to hopefully offer that to students next semester. I'll let Ian kind of share a little bit more on the specifics of what we're looking at. But our goal through this is to be able to provide a platform for students to be able to teach them about American exceptionalism, that we're the greatest country on the face of the world, and to also teach them common sense, conservative constitutionalism, be able to expose them to those ideas of why that's the best way, why our Constitution is the greatest, the principles that we were founded upon. And so we're really excited to be able to hopefully start this and get the ball rolling and be hopefully a model for other high schools in our area to be able to follow suit, hopefully. So I'll let Ian kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the specifics.
He's great. I gotta have notes. I'm sorry. He's great at doing that. Anyway, I'm supposed to know how my kids learn, how my students learn. I'm a visual person, so that's how I got it right here. Anyway, over the high school, I'm known as Mr. James. He's also known as Mr. James. You can call us either one, or just Ian or Patrick. So anyway, I'm over at high school, and I'm seeing what's going on over there, and I just wanted to speak sort of where we're at right now regarding what he's talking about. This has absolutely been a student-led thing. You could tell just what what Charlie meant to those kids, and I see it firsthand. I've had so many conversations with kids, especially the day that happened. I've had great conversations with kids, not from talking about politics, but spiritual things, and it's just been a great blessing, great opportunity there. So, but speaking on the TPUSA, I think it's required that we need to have 7 kids to participate to be opened up. And I'll tell you, just from word of mouth, we have not put flyers or anything, no social media. I know we've had at least 11 or 12 confirmed just from word of mouth. And that's just kids. Like I said, that's one kid saying, hey, I want to start this. That's another kid saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. And I've gotten emails, hey, can I be a part of this? Can I be a part of this? And like I said, that's just from word of mouth. So I know, like I said, we have like 11 or 12 right now that's filled out the interest form. I know we've been granted access, so the next step would be to fill out that charter agreement, and we're very close to doing that. I know a couple of those students who are interested went to our principal, Dr. Blackwell, to get approved for a meeting time, and he approved it. We're looking right now to meet before Christmas break's over, sort of figure out that interest there. I know once we get a social media and
once we put flyers up, I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot more interest than just those word of mouth ones. So we're trying to make sure we have everything lined up before that happens. So, but when we have that interest meeting, we'll select some officers. I have already sent out, and I know a lot of kids are involved in those officer positions. We're going to have some kind of voting process because there's a lot of kids that want to lead this. There's a lot of kids that want to be leaders, vice presidents. So our three main positions that we have to have is a president, vice president, treasurer, and treasurer. Optional positions are secretary, historian, social media coordinator. Those are all different optional positions that kids have already wanted to do. So super excited about that. So just going forward, we're going to be looking for that meeting time before break, and whenever we do that interest meeting, we are going to figure out our officer positions. Who's going to fulfill those. Going into next year, and we're going to be also making a social media. So those are the things that we do need before that charter agreement is established, where we can send it in. We need the officer positions, and we need that charter agreement, or we need that social media presence, because as some of you know, Charlie really he really believed in that. So those are the things that are required before we send in that charter agreement. But when we have that meeting, all that will get done. So that's sort of where we're at right now. After that, there's a lot of other things involved. We got to have a bylaws, constitution, and those kids. And I've talked to them about that. They've been reading the handbook. They have absolutely been, wow, this is awesome. I've been able to. We get to start. We get to do this. Yeah, y'all get to do this. We've been talking to them, and they're super excited about that. So I'm super excited to see the leadership for these kids, and I'm excited to see where it's going to take us. So the biggest thing that you guys can do, number one, just pray for it. We really want this to be a student-led thing, and these students are the next generation for our country, and we got to teach them why why our principles are the principles to use. It's the example for the rest of the world to follow. And then number two, if you see our stuff on social media, once we get that social media stuff done, share it, make sure it's put out there. And number three, if you got any students that go to West Oak High School that would like to be involved, the more students we can get involved in this, the better. We really want this thing to be great, so we can have as much influence on the next generation as possible. So, thank you guys.
I want to brag on these two for a second here. When we started this journey together, we got on a conference call, and Kim, you were on that conference call too. They were, who was out west? Oh, Patrick, you were out west. And the thing was, this was great. It was 3 months ago when we started this journey together. These guys said, "Hey, we don't care what the obstacle is. We don't care what we have to jump over. We're going to do this." And I said, "You know what? We're going to get out of your way. We're going to help you any way we can. We're going to clear some obstacles." But these guys just took it like a bull out of a china shop and did fantastic work. And I could be more pleased. The only thing I asked was this. I said, make this a sterling example so that we can put this in other high schools around, and they didn't flinch a minute. They were on it. Gentlemen, thank you. And thank you for taking conservative values to the next generation. If there's one thing that we can say, we will leave as a legacy. This may be it today, okay? So thank you, guys. We're going to keep the positive vibes going. I'm going to call up our committee man from Oconee. That's right. Mr. Adams, would you come to the podium, please?
What I want to speak about is it's time for us to select the inaugural recipient of the annual Roel Cruz Achievement Award for the county party. And we had wanted to share this information last month, so our timeline got compressed a little bit. We wanted to take nominations for the award during November, so it's been condensed down to the last 10 days of November. do is have the nominations in by early December. And then the selection committee can make the decision on the recipient during December. And then we can make the award at the first CXC meeting in January 2026 and help get the year started off on a positive note. Now, there's information on the award posted on the county party official website. It's under file. You just click on file, and the first thing right now at the top of the list is information on the Roel's award. And it's got the criteria for the award, and it's also got the nomination process. It says that we will funnel the nominations through the district directors, which is fine, and then they will be forwarded on to the selection committee. If you don't have the email of your district director, you can email it to Anita Cruz here, who's our secretary. She's also a member of the selection committee with me and Kirk Trussell. So, like I said, we'd like to have all the nominations by the end of December, the end of November, so we can make our decision sometime in December and be ready. We'll have to get the award made and make the arrangements to give it out or present it at our first meeting in January. Now, are there any questions tonight? If there are any questions, feel free to contact me or Anita or Kurt. You can contact me by email or personal message on Facebook. Be glad to answer questions if I can. If I can't, I'll find you an answer. Okay. Thank you.
Once again, Tony, you want those sent in by the end of November, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. We're gonna keep some of the positive vibes going. We talked about what Ian and Patrick are doing to grow our conservative values in the next generation, but Anita, it's your time for the secretarial report. She's gonna talk about what's happening as we try to grow with our voters and extend our base.
Thank you all very much. So we've had a lot of opportunities over the last 6 months to, at various events, to reach out to people and try to encourage them to come join the party, come participate in anything that we are working on. And we have, I think, finally decided on a process to identify those new members and to try to get them involved in as much of our activities as we can. So we have created a Form 3, which I don't think you'll be able to see, but it's a very simple form where the individual will identify their precinct, their voter registration number if they know it, give us their first and last name, their address, and emails and phone numbers. And those will be sent to me, and then I will I try to identify what precinct they belong to. I will send that form out to that precinct's EC or president or both. And then those individuals will be responsible for verifying that the member does belong in their precinct. And then they'll provide that verification back to me by signing the form. And then they send that back to me. So I think we've had some pretty good success over the last few months in recruiting new people. Our email list is growing, and every month or every week when I send out the weekly updates, there's usually somebody new that the update is going to. So y'all keep up the good work. You're out there. You're the front face. You are the OCRP. You are the ones that are out there talking to your neighbors, talking to your friends. Try to get them involved. We want to grow this party as large as we can. So I think that's it.
Good evening. Representing our new members tonight, Ms. Susan Ramey, will you stand up, please, and be acknowledged? She's one of our Forum 3 members here, and I want to let you guys know that we're going to have a huge event. And like Senator Alexander said earlier, Oconee County leads, and you guys are a great example of how a county should operate. And in late February, we're going to have an event that is going to be at the forefront of South Carolina politics, but we're asking only Forum 3 members, Forum 1 members, and that we can figure this out. So we're asking if you do know somebody who wants to join, now is the time to do it. Please get in touch with Anita, and we'll go from there. Valerie, time for the Executive Committee member report.
Hey everybody, Ian, you're not alone. I gotta have my notes too. So, all right, guys. So last the state executive committee meeting, big agenda item was the decision on whether or not to reinstate Pickens County. At that meeting, it was decided that they were going to have Pickens County redo their reorg and their county convention. And that is actually happening right now. Reorg, I think, is actually, their makeup session is tonight. They're doing that right now. And then their county convention is December 4th. So that's really the biggest update coming from the meeting. I know their next meeting is coming up December 16th. I'll be headed back down to Columbia for that. I have been in close contact with Rhonda out of Pickens, and all she's asking for from us right now is just prayers. It's holiday season. They're praying for a good turnout, so if you guys can just send your prayers down there to Pickens, I know they'll be greatly appreciated. That's all I got.
Thank you, Valerie, and yes, our prayers are with those who Pickens as they try to reorganize and get revalidated. One thing to let you guys know, on December 1st, Monday, December 1st, we have a Christmas party that we're hosting with the Spartanburg and the Greenville counties. It's in Greer. Okay, it's I believe it's $20 per person, I believe, for the ticket. So if you guys go onto the Facebook site, or I believe it's on the calendar as well, and in the weekly updates you'll see it as well. But you guys are more than welcome, and we would enjoy the fellowship. Mr. Perry Smith, Brother Perry, it is time for the Vice Chairman update. Come on and grab the podium, brother. Thank you, Barry. So earlier in the year, when I spoke to all of you for this position, I spoke about one thing, and that's to move this party forward. So let's just recap how we are doing that. We have new members that's coming in our town halls. They come in to see the changes that's been made. Our barbecue, we're going to have to do double the next time, because the next time we're going to feed not only the law enforcement, but we plan on feeding the EMS as well as the fire departments. We're going to take care of all first responders, with everybody's help, that is. So, Bob, we're going to double it up the next time. Town halls. How many town halls have we had since we started? I don't even know there's been so many. Quite a few. And we've got more coming. Hopefully you all will come to them. These two fellows right here, if they're not the reason that we're moving forward, there's no better reason. These two young men right here have came into this party to help build it. What does the Republican Party mean to all of you? To me, it means freedom. Because without us, we might not be free. But these gentlemen right here, leading a school, bringing in children, they're starting freedom in high school and in middle school. I mean, come on. We brought them in. They are our future. And it's time that we all started acting like these two young men and start building our future a little better than what it is now.
Cruz, in my opinion, is our hero. He's the one man that stood out above everybody in 2021 and tried to get unity while everybody turned their backs on him. The one man. And everybody won't know. Y'all remember that. He stood out above all of us. Just remember that. Roel Cruz was a hero. Not only in war, but here with us. I'd like for all the veterans, the reserve, and the active duty to stand up and be recognized. And they are another reason why we have freedom. But if we don't do our part, and start doing our part more, we're going to lose it. I need everybody to remember that. I campaigned, or I spoke to all of you to move this party forward in unity. At some point in time, we've got to do that. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Perry. I have a quick announcement, and then we'll continue on with new business. Tina Reed, the county treasurer, her husband is Rife. Thank you, Rife. Her husband is not doing well. She sent along best wishes tonight. She gave me some information. I am going to try to present the treasurer reports in the new business section, but please keep her in your prayers. Okay, and she sent along the best wishes to us tonight. And with that, I'm going to go open new business with first reading, Resolution 2025.11, honoring.
Excuse me.
The chair does not recognize you. 2025.11, honoring Charlie Kirk. Mike Husky, would you approach the podium, please?
Good evening. I'm Mike Husky, the EC for New Hope. Very appropriate that you guys have started the Charlie Kirk legacy here in our county. Just on a personal note, I tried to get Charlie to come talk to us about 3 years ago. It's not just the OCRP, but I had friends that supplied extruders for us in a business, and she and the owner, Larry Key, actually got Charlie started by financing him and getting him going. So I traded a few emails with him, couldn't get it done, but I really wish I had. On another note, a month ago, I was in Orem in Utah. I was there. We had a plant in Nephi. We had one in Orem. And I had a little bit of time before the plane left to come back to Charlotte. So I said, I'm going to go over there to Utah Valley and just see where this happened. And I can tell you that it takes your breath away. It's a very small venue. They still had the caution tape up where Charlie was sitting when his life was taken. And I can just tell you that you could feel the vibration. You could feel him there. So it's very appropriate that Barry let me read this resolution. I hope it will get adopted very quickly. Whereas Charlie Kirk has dedicated his life to advancing the cause of liberty, faith, and the principles upon which this nation was founded, and whereas Charlie Kirk has served as a modern-day civil rights activist, championing the rights of individuals to speak freely, assemble, worship, and live according to their conscience. And whereas Charlie Kirk has boldly taught and defended the Bible, encouraging countless Americans, especially young people, to stand firm in their faith and apply biblical principles in their daily lives. And whereas his leadership through Turning Point USA and related organizations has inspired a new generation to embrace conservative values, defend freedom, and remain vigilant against threats to our Constitution. And man, do we have threats to our Constitution right now. It's every day. Every stinking day we have something coming up. His voice and influence have reached millions, equipping citizens with the courage and conviction to engage in public life with integrity, truth, and dedication to God and country. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Oconee County Republican Party hereby recognizes Charlie Kirk for his contributions as teacher, leader, and defender of faith and freedom. And be it further resolved that the Oconee County Republican Party proclaims September 21st of each year as Charlie Kirk Day in Oconee County, South Carolina, in honor of his legacy and enduring impact. And finally, be it resolved that this resolution shall be entered into the permanent records of the Oconee County Republican Party and shared with the people of Oconee County to encourage the continued defense of liberty and faith in public life. This resolution shall be effective immediately upon its adoption. Thank you.
Now, share the podium with me while we do this. Do you have any objection for this being the first and final reading of this?
None.
None? Mr. Parliamentarian, do you see any reason why we should not carry forth on a final reading of this?
As long as we have a motion to do so, it's approved.
Mr. Nix?
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-11 on first reading. Second.
Sorry, I had Mr. Perry Jackson with the second there. For? Everyone for? Anyone will speak for? Anyone against? I do believe we can vote. Is that correct, Mr. Parliamentarian? All right. All in favor of adopting 2025.11, honoring Charlie Kirk, sponsored by Mike Husky. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The chair recognizes the ayes carried, therefore this is passed on. Do we have a liaison with the county council that could see if they would like to carry forward this onto the official county council? Would someone please take that as a to-do, to take that to Chairman Durham and see if that, will you?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. And thank you guys for that. It'd be very nice to hear what you got going on in there. That's kind of cool. Final reading, Resolution 2025.05, resolution regarding elimination of property tax. Brother Adams, could you, this is your final reading, is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you like to go ahead, sir?
The request of South Carolina General Assembly proposed to submit qualified electors of the statewide referendum to eliminate personal property tax in South Carolina and implement the fair tax system as replacement. Whereas citizens are compelled and perpetually lease their personal property from the government through the annual taxation and property ownership should be recognized as a fundamental right, not a privilege, subject to reoccurring government fees. And whereas the current property tax structure places disproportionate burden on property owners who are primarily responsible for funding the essential government services contrary to the South Carolina Republican platform, principles of low taxes, limited constitutional government. And whereas legislation addressed the issue in the introduction, including H 3378 in the 25-26 session, statewide property tax exemption, the Oconee County Republican Party supports. And whereas the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government, underscoring the principle in private properties must remain secure and undue government intrusion. And whereas South Carolina currently generates approximately $995 million annually through a 1-cent sales tax, demonstrating the consumption-based tax and the variable and the effective alternative property taxation. Whereas the free tax would ensure that all consumers, including out-of-state and tourists, contribute fair to the revenues rather than placing the burden solely on property owners. Now, therefore, be resolved, Oconee County Republican Party Convention assembled. South Carolina should gain full ownership of their homes, vehicles, and personal property free of reoccurring government levies. The South Carolina General Assembly be urged to propose to submit qualified electors state a referendum to eliminate personal property taxes and replace a low-revenue, broader-based, consumption-driven fair tax system, and that a system to distribute a tax burden more equitably across who participate in the state's economy, including including non-residents and visitors. This resolution shall be effective immediately upon adoption.
Thank you, Brother Adams. Any discussion for this resolution?
Point of order, we need a motion
For what?
to adopt.
So,
I don't wanna make all the motions.
you're going to. Go ahead, sir.
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-05, elimination of personal property taxes and implementation of a fair tax system of some sort in South Carolina.
Thank you, Brother Mixon. Oh, and Jason, was that you, sir? Second. Okay, thank you. Jason got the second on that one. Discussion for? Discussion against? I think we can move on to,
So,
Brother,
four, I would say, nobody likes being taxed on their property. But I think it's gonna be complicated how they implement this. This HR, or this H3378, we probably all need to take a look at that, but I think conceptually it's a good idea.
Brother Adams, when Senator Alexander was here, did you have a chance just to present this to him to?
Oh, I already have, and I've sent numerous emails. As a matter of fact, he said, I asked him some questions at the meeting he was at here. He said it would take 9 cents to cover it. And I questioned that because to cover all the county budgets in the state of South Carolina, I got 41 counties, only came to $3 billion. 9 cents would be $9 billion. So there's something there that's not right. And he said he has a better grasp of the numbers. We'll be talking about it. This is just an idea to get it going.
Absolutely.
Is what it is. All it is this isn't anything written in stone. In Tennessee, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Florida, they're doing this all across the country.
Brother Adams, you were doing fine till you said Florida. Joke. What would be the next step, Brother Adams? Would this go to the state GOP for passage?
Correct.
Okay. Committee member Valerie, if we pass it tonight, could we put it on, at least try to get it onto the agenda? Okay. Okay. Would you be okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. We good? I'm looking at you, Brother Nick. Are we good? Okay. Are we ready to vote on this puppy? All right. I'm going to call for a vote. Regarding Resolution 2025.05, resolution regarding elimination of property tax, sponsored by Britt Adams. We will have a voice vote. All in the affirmative say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The chair recognizes the ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Adams. If you'll make sure that Ms. Valerie, or excuse me, Madam Secretary, don't we have to have a signed copy before it goes up? Just catch me by the end of the meeting. Okay. Parliamentarian Mickey, correct me if I'm wrong, but according to our bylaws, we have to present a budget. Is that correct? Every year, right? An operating budget. I call your attention to the operating budget right here. Okay. Tonight, we're going to present it for ratification and conversations. The first meeting in 2026, I think, that's when the bylaws say we have to approve it. Is that correct? We present it now, and then we ratify at the first meeting, or the first quarter of 2026. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, just want to make sure we're staying in bylaws there.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
do we finally have money in it?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We will get to that.
We did it one time.
I understand.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order.
Yes.
Looking at our agenda, maybe mine's mixed up.
No, it's me, brother. I decided to mix it up. I know.
So we're going back up to agenda item,
Treasury report.
Treasury report.
Yes, if her husband was not, we would have kept the agenda normally, but.
You've got a different agenda.
Okay. All right, but let's continue on with this. Okay. We have a budget. Mr. Parliamentarian, does it match with our bylaws stating the financial controls?
if we have a budget, it matches with our bylaws. Bylaws are not specific in the outlined requirements of the budget.
Okay. For tonight's purposes, what I'd like to do is present it, and if you have any questions on next year's budget, to allow Ms. Wright to get back and answer any questions, we will hold those until the first meeting when you guys get a chance to vote on it, okay? But tonight we'll be presenting it for your review until then. I have a second document, which is the cash balance reconciliation here. To Vice Chairman Perry's question, we started with $1,641.64. Our deposits were almost $5,000. Our expenditures were $900, leaving us $5,726. Do we have any questions on the cash reconciliation? Yes, we have two. I'll start here and then we'll go there.
Okay, so I see the barbecue fundraiser has 3702, but what I don't see is the revenues that came in from that fundraiser and the expenses. The only expense I see is 150. So, does that mean that all the meat and everything was donated and there were no costs whatsoever to OCRP?
Should have got the cost of the meat barbecue. That would have been high.
So the only expense then was the 150?
Committee member, yeah, I believe that there was cups and things like this that were netted out of this. They were almost ancillary at that point. By the way, Craig, you guys did a phenomenal job that day. When I stopped in and grabbed things to take out to the first responders, it was a well-oiled machine. So congratulations to you and all the volunteers who showed up that day. But I believe that is a net effect of the 3702 because there were a few cash disbursements for tickets for like cups and things like that and waters for that day. Yes?
Okay, so all of the meat and everything was donated by members or somebody at the OCRP? It just seemed like that was a large expense to buy.
That is correct. That is correct. We had an anonymous donor who wishes to remain anonymous who passed that on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next question. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I had the same question Candy did. So proper bookkeeping would have said, these are the ticket sales. And I'm looking at the ticket sales of $3,702 and $15 each. That does not compute, but you just explained why.
Well, there was also cash donations. Were you here, Ms. St. John, that day?
No.
Okay, there were stations where they collected cash donations, and if you came in here, you would have saw the buckets throughout.
All right, but then you said that the expenses were netted into that, which is not proper bookkeeping, but okay, that answered my question. Then I understand that Sherry Biggs was a silver sponsor, but I do not see that on the line.
We use cash accounting, not accrual accounting.
Okay, so you haven't gotten your cash yet?
We use cash accounting, not accrual accounting. So
That doesn't
this
answer
is
my
this.
question.
Oh yes, it does.
Did she? How much is the silver sponsor?
$500.
Okay, so she has not. Okay, it's not on there. And one more item on the expenditures for the American Legion Hall. There were 4 town halls between August and October, but I don't. Did we not pay for the rental for those town halls?
We have an anonymous donor who likes to remain anonymous.
Right. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
Okay. All right, with that, we're going to take a 5-minute recess, and we're going to close the public part of this. Thank you all. Oh, yes, Mr. Smith.
Old business, resolution 2509.
09.
Never had a final reading.
Give us 1 second on that one. I can't remember all of them on my head.
There were 3 resolutions regarding voting. We had a first reading on 202509. We never had a final reading on 202509.
First reading on the 21st of August, and the second reading was supposed to be tonight.
Donald, with all the things going on, I'm going to ask for some mercy and some forgiveness, and I'm going to put it on the December one, okay? So, you were the sponsor on that one, right?
Valerie is the sponsor. I'm the EC. I'm the reader.
Was that the long one?
No, sir.
Okay.
There's this one.
Yeah, I don't want the long one read again, because we'll have to start now to get it past the December. Okay, thank God. All right. Thank you, Don, for keeping me square on that. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll continue on. But if you will, let's go ahead. And I want to thank everyone who followed on streaming, things like this. If you are not an executive committee member or a county officer, we ask politely. We have some things to discuss. So if you'll bear with us, or just so we can take care of that business. Thank you all.